Hi, welcome back to this video. Keep watching.
You discover yourself, you discover your capability, you discover your talent, you discover how strong you are, how big you are, how capable you are to do anything. It makes a whole lot of difference. So that means if you want to do any business and they said this business is too difficult, like me, although there was one time I was going to do crypto. I said, no, this crypto thing is too complex, you know.
Hi, welcome back to this video. Keep watching.
I don't want to understand it. Somebody tried to teach me. I said, I don't even want to understand it. You know, that was partly not because I assigned a level of difficulty, not only because I assigned a level of difficulty, but because I thought it's a distraction from what God has called me to do. So I just had to let it go. So we need to discover ourselves. Discover ourselves. Why is all this? Why am I saying all this? Because God has given everybody a business to do. There's a business you are supposed to be doing. What's the business? The business of adding value to other people with the talent that God has given to us. That's the business we are all in. If we are not doing that, we are underusing our capacity. So everybody has a business. So even if you don't know the talent or you don't know anything, just know that everybody is in business. I don't care if you say, oh, I don't like business, I'm working. You are working, but you are working for a business. If you don't work to produce profit in that business, they will fire you eventually. You're working for a business. If you ignore things, like I was working somewhere and the person, my partner, was giving out medications free, expensive medications free to other people. He ignored the principle of business. Eventually was fired, even though they loved him. Patients loved him because he was giving them free medication, right? So the company loved him because patients loved him. But because he ignored the principle of business, he was fired. Because the fact that you are employed does not mean you must not understand the principle of business. Because what the person you are working for is in business. And if you understand the principle of business and you are able to contribute value to that business more than what is expected, you'll be promoted. They can even make you a partner. You know, even though you just say yourself you are a worker, but you can be promoted easily. You know, because they will not want to let you go because of the value you produce. So ultimately, what all of us are expected to do is to make sure that we are constantly contributing value and every day trying to increase the value we give. And that is our sowing. We are sowing. We are constantly giving value. Value to others, value to wherever we are working, value to our customers. We are always giving value. So that means every day our thoughts should be like, what value, what higher value can I give to my customers? What higher value can I give to my customers? That's a question should be on our heart every day. And if we think about that, then our mind and our brain will work together to give us solutions. That's the problem, right? We are asking questions to give us what we are going to do to add value to where we serve. So I don't care where we serve. You might be serving in a non-profit organization, you still must add value. You still must add value to the people you serve. People say, oh, I'm just a pastor. Well, we are a pastor. If you don't add value to your congregation will leave. Everybody is in business. And the earlier we understood that, the better. And that's why God says, Jesus said, I'm doing the business of my Father. It's a business. If we take it like just a job, then we don't understand that even God is in business of winning souls. That's why he gave his only begotten son, because he's doing the business of winning souls. So he gave first in order to win many souls. And this principle cut across every area of life that we are given business. And when we discover ourselves, if we don't surrender to that assignment, then we will not be able to put in the much that's required. We will not be able to put in the much. We have to surrender to the assignment. What do I mean by surrender to the assignment? Surrender to the assignment that, hey, these are the people I'm called to serve. I want to serve them with all my might, all my energy. You know, I want to continue to serve them. I want to continue to improve the way I serve them. So if you are helping people to design clothes, like I just gave some clothes to a designer to design my clothes. So I had to fire one designer because it's not adding value to me. Sold a bunch of clothes, and the clothes were like ordinary. And I told him, I do not want ordinary clothes. I do not want ordinary design. I do not want common design. I kept telling him. He ignored it. So I got the clothes. It did not add value to me. I had to fire him. I gave it to another person that knows how to create new things. I said, I want new designs. And the other person created new designs. So I said, okay, you I will hire. I will continue to hire. So it's the same thing for all of us, you know. So we have to continue to add value by surrendering to this assignment and always thinking about this assignment. Like I said in my previous video, your success is governed by the concentration of your thoughts to that thing. So what's your predominant thought? And that has to do with everything we do every day. The video we watch, the things we spend time on, they determine our thoughts. We determine what we are sowing our thoughts on. So, and if we understand we are in business, and we understand we all have endowment, I call it endowment. I don't call it talent. I like to call it endowment because it's like everything, encompass everything, including the grace of God upon your life. It's an endowment. And you are thankful for them. And that's a strategy I've used, and it has worked. If you are thankful for your endowment, you have that kind of mindset of being very, very grateful from inside, that you are very grateful because you recognize that it's a gift, it's a grace. Not everybody has what you have. If you are really thankful for them, then it brings your mind to the level where you say, hey, thank you for giving me this. Okay, what can I give in return? What can I give in return? And that is where our service comes from. What can we give in return? So, in our next video, I'm going to talk about the 4 levels of value. You see, okay? And the 4 levels of value, in the 4 levels of value, so if we recognize, first of all, is to recognize the value, right? That you have to give value to people, okay? Then how do you now increase in the value you are giving to people? Because your income, your bank balance depends on the value you give to people. If we agree, do we agree to that? Your bank balance depends on the value you are giving to people. If you give people more value, your bank balance will increase. Definitely. So, we want to look at, briefly, just look at the 4 levels of value. How do you increase the value you give to people? So the first level is what we call implementation. Implementation is that you got an idea and you are trying to put some flesh on it so that you can give initial value to people. So Oh, you got an idea that you can cook. So you start cooking, right? Start preparing some dishes for people. Maybe you're preparing it and giving people to test. That's usually what it starts. You give it free first. You give it free first. Remember that. Your talent is going to be given free first. If you are not willing to give your talent for free, you are not ready to give value. You have to give it out for free first. Just like I'm doing. I'm giving out my talent for free. You give it out for free. That shows that the talent is more important than money to you. It's a psychology, okay, that I can do this even if I'm not getting paid. And it's not only a psychology, it's marketing. It's marketing. Everybody gives things for free. I don't know if you have been to a restaurant. You know, there are a lot of them in America. Once you enter the restaurant, they are cutting part of the meat and the rest for you to taste. You know, taste how good it is. You know, and the thing is, maybe they give out 100 pieces of meat. 20 people will come and patronize them. It's a ratio. Everything is a ratio, you know. But as you increase in the levels of value you give, the ratio becomes better. So we'll learn about the farmer that went to sow. If you look at it, initially the ratio might be 10 to 100. But as it gets better, now it knows that there is a good soil somewhere, right? He had to go through some processes to discover the good soil. Now you know the good soil. Plant more in the good soil, right? That's how you increase your productivity. You increase your productivity. So in 4 levels of value, implementation is when you start and maybe you are working or you are doing business and you are trying to produce something that will give value to people that people can pay you for. That's the implementation stage. Okay? Your income might not be much. You might still be struggling, but you don't remain there. Your eyes should be focused on the highest level of value, which I'm going to talk about. The next level of value is what we call unification. I like to call it managerial. Managerial means now you want to increase your production, right? You have to employ people because you cannot do it by yourself. The work is too much. You have to employ people. So you employ people, you manage them, right? Or you are working in a place and they promote you as a supervisor to manage other people. So you are not only using your own hands and sweat to work, you are also trying to use other people to make money. That's the managerial level, you know, the unification level. And you don't stop there. You want to quickly move up again, right, to another level because your income is still limited even at the managerial level. Okay? I don't know the level of income here, but in the US, I say at the implementation level, maybe you make from $40,000 to $80,000 a year. At the managerial level, maybe you make like 50 to 200,000 a year. But as you climb up the ladder to what we call communication level, the communication level is where you really use your talent and your mouth. That's the communication level, your talent and your mouth. Then you can begin to tell people what you do and how you do it. You can begin to train people. What I'm doing right now is communication. It's communication level. When you begin to train people, you begin to use your mouth. Maybe you do something, you record it. You did this one, you record it. That's why we're recording this one. So that I can see somebody that needs that information and say, hey, listen to this information. So you can begin to sell. Why? Because you can write a book and you can sell the book to millions of people. Okay? You can record a material, and that material you can send it to millions of people. We know that the world is a global village, right? So that's the communication level where you use your mouth or use a means of communication to deliver your message. Because everybody has a message. Everybody has a message. And in order to be heard, you need to use your mouth. Okay? And at the communication level, your income can rise to millions. Millions of dollars or millions of naira. If I use Nigerian term, millions of naira or billions of naira now, because Nigerian naira is devalued. So when we talk $1 million, we're talking about billion naira. Okay? And the next one is the imagination level, or I call it creativity level. At the creativity level, you invent something, still using the same talent. Oh. You're still using the same talent. You invent something with your talent. Initially, you are working using your talent. Then you are managing using that same talent. Then you are using communication using that same talent. Now, you have gone to the level where you begin to create using the same talent. That means we really just need one talent, right? We just need one talent. And God has given all of us one talent. And we can begin to move from one level to the other just using that same talent. That same talent. Okay? So people say, oh, they have multiple talents, you know. Well, if you have multiple talents, you might end up being jack of all trades. If you want to use all the talents. Maybe the talents can work collaboratively, no problem. But you have to recognize that there's one particular talent that will take you high, that will take you very high, as high as you can go. So at the creativity level, you begin to create things that will outlast many generations. You know, like the person that created this plastic bottle now, that's been for so many years. We're still using plastic bottle. You know, so that's creativity. When you begin to imagine things that you yourself could not comprehend. You know, like there's a word in the Bible says that it can do exceedingly above what we ask or think according to his power that work in us. What we ask or imagine. So this is in partnership with the forces of the world, with the forces that control the world, that begin to reveal things to you that people have never heard before. People have never heard it before, and you create something new because people have never heard it before. And all you are doing is still using just that single talent. So, invariably, even right from the beginning of implementation, you want to focus on the highest level, which is creativity. So even you are starting from using your talent at the implementation level, but your eye is focused on creativity, on that great thing that God is going to use it for. And the thing is this: God has revealed it to you. Except you are not thinking about it. If you think about it, God reveals it to you. So God gives you a vision that looks so big that you think it's impossible. Because you want to start at that big level. When you want to start at that big level, it's going to look impossible, of course. It's going to even feel impossible. It's going to even discourage you because you are eyeing something you cannot even imagine at the level you are. Because a lot of people do not want to start at the implementation level. So they are incapacitated. because they have not gotten the mastery that will enable them to be able to comprehend that vision. They've not gotten the character to be able to comprehend that vision. So they want to start thinking of reward according to that vision. And that is where a lot of people become, what will I say, just remaining, not doing anything. Because you are thinking, because God has revealed a big vision to you, does not mean that money is going to come right away. You have to train that talent for. You have to sharpen that talent for. And you train, you sharpen that talent from the implementation level. You get to the managerial level. Then you get promoted to the communication level. Then when you get to the imagination level, you will remember that God has told you about this before. Because the Spirit of God will bring that revelation to you again. And it will look like if, you have seen this before. No, you have not seen it. It was a revelation in the past. That's why I always advise people to write all their revelations down. If you write it down in a journal that you can keep, that you keep, and you go back to that journal, then you remember that many years ago, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years ago, God has revealed this thing to you before. But now, because you have served, you have given, you have sown, now you are getting to the level where you can now comprehend that vision. I hope we are getting something. So that is the way it works. And I try to tell people as much as possible, because this is my work. I try to tell people as much as possible that keep that vision alive by writing it down. If it's in your mind, I'm telling you, forces of life and situations and everything will take it out of your mind. But if you write it down, one day you can open the book again, or open the app, or open your email where you put it on your drive, and you can see it there. Say, wow, you write the dates. So I had this vision. That's how you begin to see that God has been doing the work in you, even when you don't realize. He's still doing the work in you. But because we could not comprehend it, we just abandon it. So on my final note to all of us is that be mindful of the things that drop in your mind when you are thinking about success. Be mindful of it, because it is God that's speaking to you at that point in time. It is God that's speaking to you, because God has an assignment for you. And that assignment is more important to Him than you. You are just a vessel to carry out that assignment. You think the assignment is all about you? No. It's all about what God wants to do on earth. It's all about how God wants to counteract the devices of the enemy, of the devil. It's not about us. That is why we need to surrender. Once we surrender to it, we will realize that this thing is not about us. We are just a vessel. When we finish our assignment, somebody else will come and continue. And once we know that, it's not about us. What we get are additions to it, additions to the assignment. There are benefits. What would I call it? Yes, money is a benefit of doing the assignment. Good health is a benefit of doing the assignment. Longevity is a benefit of doing the assignment. It is not something that we need to worry about. Like it says in Matthew 6 that, seek the kingdom first, and the righteousness and every other thing that we are looking for shall be added to it. That's the same message God is communicating, that we just need to concentrate on the assignment God has given to us, which God has put in our mind, and every other thing. The money we are looking for is a benefit. You know, the good health we are looking for is a benefit. The connection we are looking for is a benefit. Everything we are looking for is a benefit of doing the assignment. If we never do the assignment, we don't get those benefits. We think we are getting little crumbs. We think we are getting something, but those things we are getting are called little crumbs. Little crumbs that the servants will be eating, not princes and princesses. And we are happy with those little crumbs that we are eating. No. And God is saying, no. You are not a servant now. You are a prince. You should not be eating this small thing. You know, what I have for you is big. Come and eat at the master's table. And that's what God is telling us. So I'm challenging all of us to look inward to what the Spirit of God is putting into our heart today. If you are forgotten, what we can do is to give yourself some 3 days, 5 days, 7 days of meditation. If you want to fast and pray, that's fine, you know, but you really want to meditate. Meditate on what your life is all about. And God will drop it in your heart again. And this time, do not ignore it. Write it down. Hold it strong. Pursue it. Think about it. Imagine it. Imagine solution to the problem. And before you know it, you just see yourself climbing up. Hope you got something. God bless.